Hi everyone, what a wet day it is today. I'm going to show you how to fit an Electrex kit to a 1963 Ducati Monza 250. I ordered the complete kit to replace the old points ignition with a modern unit, as well as a stator and a regulator to charge the battery. All the bits come with the screws and the wiring and the plugs, so you can simply install it all and then plug everything together. You can download the instructions from the Electrex World website, and that contains the wiring diagram and the step-by-step. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to fit the stator. So I drain the oil so I can remove the left-hand cover. Just loosen the foot peg and remove it out of the way, and I just put something under the brake lever to hold it down. So we take the cover off and then undo the 6 clutch bolts and the clutch plates. And now to undo the clutch basket nut. So I tighten up the rear brake to hold the hub still. So I use a driver. You can also use a clutch holding tool. It's a good idea at this stage to loosen the crankshaft nut while it's held in place. Makes it a lot easier. And then you can remove the clutch housing. Don't lose the little ball bearing and the clutch rod from the center of the spine, and remove the washer. Now to remove the crankshaft nut and the locking tab. So I'll remove the little key so we can pull the flywheel off. Now removing the flywheel can be difficult. You can use the proper puller. You can also try getting something soft and giving it a little tap on the very edge, and that will bounce it off. Hopefully it'll come loose for you. There's the old stator. The wiring looks new, but the center of it is quite original. I'll feed the wire back through the crankcase, so just cut off the connectors and just pull it all the way through. Undo the screws and remove the old stator. Now you might want to skip over to the ignition at this point because it's easier to turn the motor over. This is the kit. We've got the flywheel, the new stator and the mounting bracket. So remove the stator wire through after you've taped them up. It makes it a lot easier to push through. Now to fit the new stator. So you'll need to use the supplied bracket. So you need to screw that on first and tighten it with Loctite. You can just put the stator onto it afterwards. Don't try to join them together beforehand or you won't get the screws in. A bit of Loctite and then we can fit the stator. So make sure you use Loctite on all the screws. Now it's important with the stator that none of the wires protrude where the flywheel can touch them. Make sure they're tucked in but not squashed. Do everything up tight. And there it is fitted. Notice how the wires are pushed out of the way and kept below the flywheel area. Then you can tighten up the fitting on the crankcase. So we're going to remove the old coil and fit the new 12-volt coil. So I remove the tank. The coil on this bike is just under the frame. It's a conventional sort of car type coil. Easy to remove and replace, just undo all the bolts. Take the lead with it and fit the new coil. The kit supplies this mounting bracket, which is quite easy to use. Now I'm going to fit the ignition pulser. The points on the bike are on the right hand side under the cover. So remove the points, remove the backing plate, undo the screw and take out the advance mechanism. This is the new pulsar ring. It should fit neatly into the casing. On mine there was a bit of damage, so I had to clean it up a little bit to get it to go in properly. And then the wire goes through to the outside. Don't do what I did and try and fit the casing first, because you won't get the screw on the outside. So we can use a small piece of wire and just pull the wire through the casing. I did them all one at a time. Do up the 2 screws on the pulsar ring, and not too tight of course, because we're coming back to that later. Then fit the rotor. It fires twice in each revolution of the motor, so it doesn't matter which way it goes, and just do it up with the original screw. This is the CDI box. We need to connect that to the wires from the pulsar. It has 3 wires, black, blue and white. Just use the plug base they supplied and just match it up to the same colours. Make sure you keep that lead away from the exhaust. Now determine your ignition advance using your owner's manual. On this one it's 28 degrees. Turn the motor over to top dead center. You can see the piston really easy on this bike through the plug hole, and get it accurately at the top dead center, and then set your pulsar ring at the recommended degrees. Okay, find a good spot to fit your regulator. I'm removing the old one which was under the seat on this bracket. I can get the new one to fit in a similar position, so that'll be fine. Just check there's enough room under the seat and there's plenty of airflow in case it gets a little hot. Now the new regulator has this blue wire that needs to be cut if it's a 12 volt system. Don't cut it if it's 6 volt. And to mount it straight I needed to drill another hole in the frame. I decided to fit the CDI box directly underneath on the other side of the frame. It's still behind the battery and it's out of the way. It's up to you. Just make sure there's enough room for the wires to reach the coil. So we plug the orange wire into the coil. The green wire's an earth, so it'll be easy just to use the frame there. And this plug joins back to our pulsar ring which we fixed up before. The other wire is a kill switch. Because the system is completely separate from the electrical system, the kill switch allows you to turn the engine off, otherwise you have no way of turning it off. So we can plug that in. It has an earth wire and a wire that goes up to your kill switch, and that just earths out the coil and cuts the motor. So this is the kill switch fitted, and everything's ready to wire up the stator. So the stator has 2 yellow wires which supply low voltage current, and they go to the 2 yellow wires of the regulator to charge the battery. The kit supplies some connectors and plug to join these. The stator also has the green and red wires for the ignition, and these go to the CDI unit. You can use the supplied plugs and connectors. And there's also a brown wire which goes to the charging light in the headlight. And the regulator has a red and green wires for the battery. You can connect this through a fuse. So we'll attach the plug cap to the ignition lead. You can cut it to the right length. And don't forget to cut the blue wire for 12 volts. There's a black wire that also needs to go somewhere on the engine. I couldn't find anywhere that was easy, apart from engine mounts, which are a bit heavy. What do you think? Let's test it out. So we put on a timing light and we'll start the motor. Whoops, I've still got 6-volt bulbs in it. Try again with a bit of choke. And we're running. Lucky the lights weren't turned on. So adjust the mixture, get a good idle. And you can see when I rev the motor, it moves to the full advance mark. So the wiring on this bike was terrible. There's lots of insulation missing, lots of joints and lots of spliced wires. So I removed the headlight switch and then I removed everything from inside the headlight. So we've got a connector block, a socket for the headlight bulb and a plate for the switch. And I replaced the wires with a 7-core cable. I've included this section so you can rewire the bike yourself if you want to. Feel free to stop at any time and have a look at the diagrams. Connect the brown wire from the regulator to the little charge light in the headlight. Replace all your 12-volt bulbs with 6-volt, so a halogen bulb for the front, and at the rear a regular car stop tail light 12-volt bulb. You'll also need to replace the bulbs inside the headlight shell, so there's the warning light and the parking light. Just checking that everything works, high and low beam. And at the rear we've got tail light, then the rear brake light.